If real estate's a side gig for them and they want to work 2 days a week and they're a firefighter or a first responder of some sort, and this is they're doing this on their days off, you can make it work for that too.
Yeah, the third highest producer on my team is a full-time high school math teacher.
Wow. George Kelly, how are you, sir?
What's up, David? How you doing today, man?
Really good, really good. Hey, thanks for spending some time with us this afternoon. So what are you doing in your business right now that you're absolutely crushing it?
So I'm going to tell you a little secret here, and I don't want this to come off the wrong way, but the one thing I haven't done in the last 8 years, as I have 18 people on my team, I don't pay or provide leads to them.
Interesting. So that's what you don't do.
That's what we don't do. So think about that. My average agent on my team's been with me for over 5 years, and I don't provide leads. Now, what do I provide, right?
Wow. And your average agent's been with you. You have 18 agents on your team, and the average length of time is 5 years.
Over 5 years, yes. I realized with a MAPS coach many years ago that if I set a goal for myself, that no one else on my team that I'm coaching was going to work really hard to make George Kelly wealthy. So I needed to sit there and learn how to coach other people and drive them towards their goals. If I help you hit your goals and you live a great life, are you okay if I live a great life in return? That's it.
I love that. So explain to me how you do that.
I took Gene Rivers' business planning clinic, one of my favorite things, and he talks about the lid, lifestyle, investment, and debt. So we look at everything and we say to people, all right, in the next 12 months, how much do you need to live your life? And once we figure out that number, then we say, all right, if that's what you need to live your life, then how much do you want to make to invest? What do you want to invest in? And after we figure out how much they want to invest, then we say, do you have any debt that you want to get rid of? Once we've calculated those numbers, it's a simple goal tracking, classic formula that works its way backwards to tell us two important numbers. One, how many people do they need to talk to each quarter in order to achieve that goal? And then breaking that down a little further, how many people do they need to talk to each day to achieve that goal? So I only need to know one of two things. What is your quarterly goal? What is your daily goal? And by the way, your quarterly goal should equal the amount of people that you have on a quarterly call plan inside our tech.
So you can really make this work for anyone of any desire of how they want to live it. If real estate's a side gig for them and they want to work 2 days a week and they're a firefighter or a first responder of some sort, and this is they're doing this on their days off, you can make it work for that too.
The third highest producer on my team is a full-time high school math teacher.
Wow.
They do this in the summertime, nights and weekends, and when they can squeeze it in between coaching their kids' sports leagues.
What is the third highest producer? What does that look like from a production perspective?
They're a little over $5 million a year, but my average sale price is a little over $200,000. So wow. It's a decent amount of units.
So they're doing 25, 30 units
yes.
As a side gig, really.
Yeah, and by referral only.
Wow, that's unbelievable. So I identify the number I need to figure out my lifestyle, my investment, and my debt. Then I'm figuring out how many people I need to talk to.
Yeah.
What's the next step?
So the next step is put it in the database. But I'll cut that back one. The next step is who, right? I don't need you to have 2,000 people to make your database work. I need you to have your quarterly call plan number, and that's the most important thing to me. If you have that, then we go into the database.
Do I have enough people to make all of the calls I need to make every quarter?
To hit my goals, yeah.
To hit the goals. I've identified the database and then figured out, do I have enough people?
Yep.
And if I do have enough people, I'm loading them into my CRM. You use Command. I use
Command, yeah.
And if I don't have enough people, then what do I do?
Well, it's very simple. You have to figure out who are the right people. Let's say your number is 87, but you have 13, right? What are all the different ways that you could technically get a hold of people? Nowadays, my guess is you have a ton of people on social media that you can re-engage conversations with. You can host a little event or a little contest or something of that nature to get people to interact with you. Or do what I like to do, which is just straight up reach out to those people who are the right people. Tell them why you're talking to them and tell them that you want to grow your business, you want to grow your database, and you want to know who would be a great connection for you to have in there also.
I love that. And so I get to the right people, I put them all in the database, and you've mentioned the quarterly phone call plan, which I'm super familiar with, right? It's a predefined smart plan inside of our technology, and all it does is it reminds you to call everyone once a quarter.
Yeah, ridiculously simple. I want the agents in my world to live this simple of a life. Wake up, open your command app, tap on what's due today, have the conversations, move on with your life.
That's it.
That's it.
If you have the right conversations and you have enough of them with the right people, then you're gonna be successful.
That's it.
George, that sounds too easy. That sounds too good to be true.
Yes, it is, because it's simple. But it's not easy, because it's the separator between the people who sell a whole ton of real estate and the people who just sell a couple is how many of them wake up each day and actually do it. That's all. That's why I have weekly coaching calls with every single person on the team, to actually make sure they're doing it. Somebody in your life has to hold you accountable for you hitting your goals. You can pay a coach. You can have a rainmaker on a team. You can have a TL.
I can't get over the fact that the high school math teacher is the third highest producer on your team. How many hours a week do you think this person's working on average?
At best, 3.
So he's cranking out like $150,000 a year in commission, 3 hours a week.
He's talking to the right people. And by the way, while he is a high school math teacher, he tells everybody in his world that he sells real estate for a living, right? So when he's out coaching baseball, he's not, the math coach. He is the real estate agent who happens to be the dad coaching baseball. He'll be able to retire from the teaching system in a few years with a great pension and stuff, but he wants people to think of him as a realtor.
Well, then he can work 6 hours a week and make $300,000 a year.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Man, that's awesome. So I just want to go through this one more time. I'm trying to get to the number, right? Yep. Lifestyle, investment, and debt. What's the number I need to make every year to cover those 3 things?
Yep.
Then I'm identifying the database and putting them into a CRM of some sort. But first I'm asking the question, do I have enough people?
Yes.
I'm then adding them to the quarterly phone call plan in command, and I'm just doing the tasks I'm told to do. That's the plan.
The only thing that we layer on top of that is actually something that I stole from you. You had told me about your Cultivate section inside of Opportunities. So we have our Cultivate section in Opportunities broken down into 3 parts: the Watch, Nurture, and Hot. If they're anywhere from 24 months out to 12 months out, we make sure that opportunity is there, and who's ever in that opportunity is on a quarterly call plan. If they're between 12 months out and 6 months out, we make sure that they're on a monthly call plan and they're in the nurture phase. And if they're anywhere from 6 months to they want to do some business tomorrow, they're on the weekly call plan, which is, if anybody goes into a Smart Plans library, you can just Google my name and see the plans there. But that's it. We bring our database through the Cultivate section, and we work the people in the quarterly call plan.
Man, this has been awesome. Like I said, I almost feels like it's fool's gold in some way, but I know it works because you obviously have the numbers to prove it. I mean, we're talking about more than $1 million in GCI a year and getting close to 200 units. And this isn't just like a 1-year anomaly. You've been doing this for 8 years in a row. You're averaging 140 units a year for eight years in a row. Man, this is fantastic. We super appreciate your time. Go follow the YouTube channel. Yeah, subscribe to it and like it. George, super appreciate it, man. Really, really awesome.
Talk to you soon, David.
Yeah, thanks so much.